All right, I'd like to turn back to our panel in the studio. So, I think we first have to discuss Naftali Bennett and the type of relationship that he's going to have with Washington, especially when it comes to tackling issues like Iran. What can we expect from Bennett?
Well, I think Bennett said very clearly in his inauguration speech that the policy is going to be more or less the same when it comes to Iran. And I remember throughout the last year that we were in opposition, Bennett would constantly say there's no coalition or opposition when it comes to the national security of the state of Israel. I know that that's something that we agree with our coalition partners with, even if the way to get there and the content might be with a gap here and there on one issue or another. When it comes to the relationship with Washington, look, as Uri mentioned, this is for sure the first guy with a kippah as prime minister. It's also the first time you have a son of American immigrants, a person who he himself was an American citizen and had to give it up to become a member of Knesset, who's now is the Israeli prime minister. I would point out that it was 2 hours after he was sworn in, he got his first phone call from Joe Biden. Biden took over a month, was it about 6 weeks till he made the first phone call to Benjamin Netanyahu? So I am not worried at all. Bennett has very good contacts with Washington. I have good contacts. The entire team does. I think we'll be fine.
I want to speak about Yair Lapid because we've been speaking about Bennett a lot, but this is kind of the man who really made this happen. Does his backseat as alternate prime minister that will be taking over in 2 years mean that he's going to be less influential?
No, I think he'll be very influential. I think that first of all, I think that the personal chemistry between these two leaders, which started when they both entered politics back in 2013, and although Lapid is a centrist and Bennett is a right-winger, Netanyahu wouldn't let Bennett in. He used to be his chief of staff as the head of opposition, and Lapid forced Netanyahu to have Bennett as part of his coalition. That started this special relationship. I think they're from the same generation. I think which is something we can say about the whole coalition. It's the youngest, I think. I didn't check it, but I'm pretty sure it's all of the ministers are in their 40s or 50s. Some are there, maybe 2 or 3 are in their early 60s. That's the oldest you have there. Very untypical in Israeli politics. And I think Lapid won the position of the leader of the center-left bloc, both within this coalition, but also in the public opinion. I think he matured over time. He's now he played the politics of it all very well. He was very modest. Both vis-a-vis our parties and also vis-a-vis Bennett and other right-wing parties. And I think he deserves to be the next prime minister after Bennett.
All right, well, we'll see how long this government lasts, right? The question is, how long will that happen? Will we see him serve as the next prime minister? I'd like to thank both of our guests in the studio, Uri Zaki, Jeremy Saltan. We're out for a quick break, but we'll be back soon.